Hey everybody, how you guys doing? Hey Ralphie, RJ, thanks
Hey,
for
Ralphie Joe,
allowing
the
us to.
first one in here, man. That's what's up. No, it's late too. So what's been good, man?
Oh, not much. I was just telling RJ that I really appreciate them having us on last night, giving us a little bit of an opportunity to talk about what we're doing and kind of
Right?
our showcase us. Really, that's what it was, and so that was greatly appreciated.
It was. And then like I told you when he said he be up what time it is because of the time zone difference.
So it's 3 o'clock in the
Yeah,
morning. That is greatly appreciated. You don't have to do
that's
none of that
like
stuff, but
for
uh,
real,
but
bruh.
but thank you.
For real, thank you. And so yeah, we got a good one today. Plants. More plants. Wait for people to trickle in. What's going on today?
Well, that's what I was trying to tell you. I don't know. People might be a little bit late coming in because there's this young kid from the Netherlands that has just recently kind of popped up. His
Mm-hmm.
name is JT.
Mm-hmm.
JT keeping fish.
Mm-hmm.
He's a smart kid. He's a teenager. I
Yeah.
say kid, but
I've seen a
he's
few of the videos. I know you talk about.
and he was streaming just right now. Oh, it's 2 a.m. Either way, Ralphie, that's
Damn,
it's
for real.
greatly
I mean,
appreciated. I like
granted,
Steve
it's the
said.
weekend.
Steve said, I mean, I don't know if I would have that
I
commitment
catch
to
the
stay up.
replay, bruh. Shit, I catch the
'Cause
replay.
that is a tough hour.
I mean, if I'm up and I'm watching it anyway, I'm
Yeah,
gonna let you know, hey, I'm in here. But that'd be like a surprise. It'd be a treat for everybody. A surprise for me too. Shit.
yeah, but RJ
So
hardly ever misses. So
yeah, he don't miss. So what was he streaming now or what?
yeah, he was just streaming right now, and I'm not sure if it already ended or not.
Oh, okay,
Uh,
well, I
but
mean, because
he had a group number, a good number of people watching his streams, which is good, man. I like what
yeah,
the kid's doing, and he was joking around about doing an episode in Dutch.
that'd be cool. I
Uh,
mean,
so
they got it, man. Like all this stuff, it comes from Europe. You know, like for the longest time, they've been like what do you call it? Like the benchmark, if you will.
figured you would, RJ.
Yeah.
That's not good for your health, though.
No, it's not. But yeah, no, the Dutch and the Germans they set the standard for like aquascaping,
Even more than
uh,
the
basically
Japanese.
any horticulture, anything to do with plants, and then the husbandry, and then they like isolate
Yeah.
genes. The Germans really, you know. My screen keeps blackening out. Hold on, wait for people to trickle in
Weird.
before we start the
What time did I?
presentation. It's only
Don't tell
fair.
me I. Don't tell me I messed up on the timing and put PM again instead of AM.
I don't know. It's only one way to find out.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna. I was gonna go look because that could be the case, and it wouldn't be the first time that I do that. No, it says we're live, so it wasn't a question of timing on there. Maybe they had too much of you, Steve, last night.
It could have been, you know,
Sensory overload.
it usually work like that. You know.
Well, either way, let's just get going, man.
Yep, I
People
say
come in
so.
when people come in when they
I'm
come
gonna
in.
grab my
RJ
charger.
says fish keeping is a very German hobby.
It is.
KH is a German term for carbonate hardness. Yeah,
Yes, it is like loaded. So is it's got a lot of Dutch. I mean, Dutch tank. Think about that. And it's, we're not talking about that today, but that's my favorite style of planted tank.
I like them, but I like the hybrid version of a.
I like hybrid Dutch too. I run those mostly now. The Japanese hybrid is my favorite one of the hybrids. But yeah, let's get into it, man. So I guess people will catch the replay or whatever.
Yeah. Just to recap on what we left off yesterday. The last
week.
Yeah, last week. Or it wasn't even last week. It was a couple of weeks ago. But our last stream. You there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, you were just frozen. That's why. So this whole thing came about of me pestering you with questions regarding plants because
right.
I know you're well vested in the knowledge when it comes to plants and stuff like that. So that's how this idea occurs. Last stream we talked a little bit about a little bit of the trend that I've been noticing in the hobby, where you start seeing people that are keeping planted aquariums starting to keep houseplants, and people that are keeping houseplants starting to keep aquariums. And it's kind of like a mergent hobby that is occurring. And one of the things that the purpose of the stream was to help me identify plants that could not only be houseplants, but you could also kind of incorporate sort of like a terrestrial plant where the roots are in the water, but the leaves are not submerged, immersed. And so that's kind of what we were talking about. Today, I guess, is just a little bit more of a breakdown in some of the terminology. Yeah, some of the terminology, some of the stuff that I was asking you. I asked you some real basic questions as far as knowing the difference between perennials and annuals and that kind of stuff. The other thing that I had a question was, a lot of these companies will use very generic terms for the names of the plants, which in turn makes it a little bit difficult for me to try to research them because you can't really find the name of the plant. And I don't know if that's, I don't know, most big box stores are like that, but the two that I have, which are Home Depot and Lowe's, that seems to be the case. You hardly
that's what it is. It's to simplify it.
You hardly ever get the information off of there. You get a very store brand generic name.
Mm-hmm. And that is confusing. So let's go ahead and start it up. All right. So this is what we're doing. Basic plant terminology, just understanding some key terms, just cutting the BS, plain and simple. So we're going to start from the bottom and work up. We start with roots. Like, that is it. That's the anchor. That is the whole support system, if you will, of the plant. So then when you break it down into subcategories, you have the root itself. That's the underground part that absorbs water and nutrients from the soil. Then you have the two main specific types of root. The tap root, those are your large main roots. Those are the ones that grow vertically into the soil. And you have the fibrous roots. Those are your thin, branchy roots. And they spread out in your different directions, like laterally. All right. Stems. So you can see the plants back there. Stem plant. That was a red and green tank I did a while back. But it's just to show you, if you look at them, when you see people buying plants, they get confused because they want to talk about a bunch plant versus a stem plant versus potted versus rooted, and it could get intimidating, kind of confusing. So in order to understand that, let's just go to the simple parts of what that is. So the stem is the main structural part of a plant, and it supports the leaves, the flowers, and the fruit. Okay? Node. We hear that word node being thrown around all the time, especially when you hear people talking about growing plants, doing propagations, etc. And you talk about cut it under the node or such and such, such and such to the node. Okay, node is the point on the stem where the leaves or the branches grow from. So that junction right there is what is called a node. And that node is basically, it's an information center. It's programmed to grow something. If you put it in dirt, it's going to grow roots. If you keep it exposed to air and sunlight, it's going to try to sprout leaves. And in some cases, it'll sprout root anyway, if you're water propagating.
Yeah.
So that's what a node is. And then we go into an internode, which of course that's just a space in between two nodes, two adjacent nodes on a stem. That's the internode.
Hey, and let me ask you something. And I don't know if this holds true or not, but one of the I don't know if it's a misconception. One of the things that you normally hear out there is that most stem plants are very rapid growing type of plants. So a lot of people, especially people that have been in the hobby in a while, kind of stay away from them because they're high maintenance as far as trying to keep them trimmed so they look nice. Is that really an issue with stem plants, or is that just kind of a myth that has been propelled over time, or is it only certain stem plants that are notorious for that?
It's one of them relative things. You know what I'm saying? Like, stem plants grow vigorously. Yes, it's true. But do they overgrow a tank? No. It's the nature of the plant. Most stem plants are weeds. And when we get in deeper into the slides, I'm going to explain that most of the stem plants are actually emergent. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
What we consider stem plants, so like your Rotalas, your Luigias, your Bacopas, stuff of that nature that we would call a stem plant, is actually an emergent plant. So it's going to be amphibious, to where, yes, it's going to be covered with water. But
so, okay,
go ahead.
No, finish that. And because I just have, and I think okay, when we start talking about aquatic plants, are there just some very basic plants that are the aquatic, and then from there they've done like what they've done with houseplants and done cultivars, where and a perfect example of that would be like Luigia. You have Luigia, you have Luigia Red, Luigia King.
No, not at all. So those are there are cultivars of
find those in the wild, or is that just specific?
No, it's wild. And okay. let me throw the slides back up. I was trying to make it for the animation so that the different bullet points come. We can talk between them, but we could just slap it up there like it is. It's fine.
Yeah, you took it down, so. And then okay. the other one before you go a little bit further, because I've heard this, when you start propagating stem plants, is it very critical that you do cut where the node's at, or is that just something for aesthetics?
All right, so this is good, bro. That's why I told you, bro. You a good ass friend to have. So check this shit out. I gotta do an example. I got some dead petunias. Okay. I was over there by my auntie. You see the post I put on Instagram? Mm-hmm. We was in the garden. That asked me Tia. That's the casa de ella. And she got the garden in the back, the patio. And when I first got out the Navy, while I was house hunting, me and the kiddo stayed with her in one of her, because she got a 3-story. So we stayed with her. And that's like my mom, sister, auntie all wrapped in one. And we put the garden in. We dreamed together, So we put that garden in, and I went over there last Sunday just to go visit and all that kind of shit. And we was back there working in the garden. That's why I took that video. But her, she got a piece of a willow branch, essentially a stick. And we water propagated it. And then she got me to plant it. We planted in the backyard. Now that thing is easily about 5-6 inches in diameter. So here, I'm gonna get this piece of petunia, and it's gonna be my example. But because it was dead from the sun, I wanted it because I'm gonna use it for botanicals. I'll wait on you to get back.
No, I'm here. I'm just.
I figured as much. I know, but the people want to see you. So I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, this is it looks like a stick, but it's not. Okay. Those are the nodes. That bump right there,
Yeah.
that's the node. So those bumps, those two little bumps right here, these are nodes. Okay. There and there. This space is the internode. Okay. Now that you have that visual figure, when you asking me your question of where do you cut, right?
Yeah.
You always want to cut on the internode. And
on the internode.
On the internode.
Okay. Above or below the node?
Well, that is relative to the piece of plant you got.
Okay.
So, like this, right? If you on some bullshit and you steal a little piece of plant, like at the hotel lobby or something, because you go and water propagate it, and you only got a little stump, and you got maybe 2 nodes on that whole stump and the leaf, blah, blah, blah. Well, if you must try to propagate it to get 2 props going, what you would want to do is you would want to cut on the inner node closest to the leaved portion, because that one should be your for shit sure one that's going to take, and then that other little piece of inner node with some node left on it, you can nurse it and try to get it to take. It should take as well. Pothos, stuff like that. Tradescanthia, philodendron, all your vine plants like that. Good. Dracaena. So like your Dracaena, the Sanderiana is the water bamboo. So everybody talk about water bamboo and shit. It is Dracaena sanderiana. Okay? And it is damn near almost like this Janet Craig here. If we were going to talk about type, it would be this type of Dracaena. You see what I'm saying? Okay. These behind me are Dracaena as well, but as you can see, it's a different type. Make sense?
The other one has more of a cane kind of stem, where
exactly.
Are more of
a crown. Exactly.
Yeah.
This one over here, I don't know if you can see it. I'm gonna pan just a small amount. Okay. This is Dracaena as well. This is Massagiana. It's called a corn plant.
Okay.
All right. It canes too.
Okay.
And this is a Dracaena as well. So it's just the types. You cut on the inner node because that's the inert part of the plant, Ralphie. That is the inert part of the plant that you can cut, so you can ensure that your whatever you're trying to propagate, it takes. So moving on, get into the stems. All right. So comes to the next part where I was talking about the leaves and leaving that with the node so you can plant it, because that should be your, for shit sure that you're going to get it. So let's talk about what leaves are. They're the food factories. of your plant. They're the main organ responsible for photosynthesis in a plant. So think of it as a leaf ain't nothing but a biological solar panel. And when I say ain't nothing, I'm not minimizing that because it's freaking amazing. But that's what a leaf is. It's essentially a biological solar panel. So the parts of the leaf that are applicable to the aquarium hobby, horticulture in general, but the aquarium hobby is the blade and the petiole. Okay. As you can see, I got some higher grow Corymbosa compacta right there. It's another tank of mine. Man, that's showing the vascular structure of a leaf. And I put that picture specifically because I want people to be able to look at it. Look at the veins, look at the branching in the leaf so you can see like the capillaries. You can see the pipeline basically of the leaf.
Yeah.
The same way the circuits run in a solar panel. So you got the blade, that's the flat part of the leaf itself. And then you have the petiole, and that's the stalk that connects the leaf to the stem. I got one that I'm trying to leaf propagate because you can, in some cases, leaf propagate also, depending on what it is.
Leaf propagating, that would be taking a leaf and putting it in dirt and it'll sprout roots. Is that what?
Yep.
Okay.
Or water.
Okay.
So this is a philodendron Brazil. Seen better days. I'm doing plant doctor for a friend. I do plant doctor. Like people bring me plants, I'll fix them for a small fee, and then I give them back to them. Like they get repotted, everything. So this one has seen better days, and I was like, for shits and giggles, it looks pretty healthy. Let me dunk it and see if it grows. So the petiole is this part right here. This part right here.
Okay.
So this would connect to the stem right here like this. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So basically, without trying to confuse nobody, the petiole ain't nothing but a leaf stem. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And you know what? Coro, I do have a little bit of hormone powder in the Ziploc bag is something damn well. Look like cocaine. But I don't use it unless it's a cutting of something that's real high value and I just want to give it that bump.
Can I suggest something, Steve?
Yeah.
Since it's only a few of us on the live stream, do you mind if I drop the link and if they want to ask questions, they can actually join us on the stream? And,
Fuck no, come on up.
Be a little bit more interactive. That way,
Dale, yeah, claro que sí. Excuse me.
I'm gonna post the copy of the link on the stream. That way, you guys can join us. It seems like today we're gonna have a slow drifting in traffic. So that way, if you guys want to come up here and join and ask your questions directly, because sometimes it's real hard to ask more in-depth questions in the chat.
Yeah, as long as y'all mind y'all manners, man, because I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't trying to hurt nobody's feelings, but I ain't with the nonsense. So just don't put us in no awkward situation, bro. But yeah, come on if you want to come kick it right fast and ask some questions.
Right
Go
now,
ahead.
we already have. Seems like we have Jay, RJ, and Cora really with us today. So
I like it like this, low key. This is good, bro. These my people. I ain't tripping. They like we doing what we doing. Let them catch the replay. Whoever. I ain't tripping.
Yeah, that's what I figured. But since it's a small group, I figured if they wanted to ask more specific questions, it's a lot easier just to ask them in person than it is to try to type out.
Well, let me go ahead and run this PowerPoint, and then we can kick it for real the right way.
All right.
And this will give them some substantive things to, jog their memory, and maybe they had a question. You feel me?
Yep.
So, but yeah, I do use rooting hormones. I ain't gonna lie to you, G. I have never been in a position to where I've had to use hormones on anything emergent or amphibious aquatic. Anytime I use a hormone, this gonna be on some tomato plants or shit, or some house plants, some plants. And that's just to get it going good, so I can do the damn thing. Now I got some crossovers in here. I'm gonna show y'all, but let me go ahead and finish this right quick.
All
right, flowers. So flowers are the reproductive structures of plants. They the sexy parts, y'all. Hola, mi amor. Estoy haciendo un clase ahora mismo. So they are the sexy parts, more or less, of the plant. And yes, aquatic plants have flowers. So if you could look here, all these pictures, by the way, are mine. I didn't just snatch no shit off the internet. Everything that y'all are laying your eyes on is mine. I ain't watermark it yet. Whatever, but just FYI. So, some of this stuff I just don't post on the gram. So this is a bloom of a freaking Zincarii, Nymphaea Zincarii, the tiger lotus.
Okay.
And that's the bloom. And it bloomed in the house with some bullshit lights, bruh. LEDs. I ain't had no special nothing. All right? That's the point right there. I had a Viva Grow on there, and I think I had I had 2 Viva Grows on there. That's it. 2. The RGBs with the remote. You know what I'm talking about? Standard. Yeah. So, and it popped flower several times. And multi-bloomed once. That was in the Pantanal. So you got the reproductive structure of a plant. So you got the petals. That's the floppy things, the colorful part that attracts the pollinators, right? Then you have what's called the sepal. Okay? That's the outermost part of the flower that protects the bud. Ralphie Joe, RGB, red, green, blue. For your LED diode colors. It's standard these days. So that's your flower. Moving on, I don't want to stay too much on that one. Fruit, same thing as some cacao that was growing in the front yard back home. And I took a picture of it. You can see the little wire on the fence. I was trying to be artistic and sneak that picture. But the fruit are seed-containing structures. And yes, amphibious aquatic plants have fruit as well. So you got the mature ovary of a flowering plant that has the seeds in it. Then you have the seed itself. That's the reproductive structure produced by the plants for propagation. And then you have the protective covering of a fruit. And that's known as the pericarp. Okay? It's a little advanced. I'm not going to go into it too heavy in this one specifically. But when you get things like your ferns and then your Marsilea, stuff like that, they don't produce seeds. They have gametes. So it's the difference between an angiosperm or a gymnosperm. But we're not going to go into that right now. We're keeping it simple today. All right. I say keep it simple, and then I pull this shit up. Photosynthesis. This is the plant's energy conversion process. All right. This is what plants do to convert sun into chemical energy. And I was going to ask y'all if y'all remember the equation for photosynthesis. You know, C6O2 plus H6O2, something, that. So basically, it is amazing. It is, and we're going to go into photosynthesis in depth down the road, but in a nutshell, Reader's Digest version, off the dome. Photosynthesis basically takes sunlight and through. So the mechanics have put me here. I gotta talk about this shit. So look, here go photosynthesis. Do it like that. Look, P game. Yeah, it's an equation, bruh. So photosynthesis is amazing. All right. In a nutshell, here's how it works. The sun sends energy. The leaves catch the sunlight. Ions in the leaf do specific things, and they split the water molecules, and they carry water, sugar, carbon, all the byproducts. I'm not going to go too deep into it. And they turn it into energy. It's cool as shit. Now, going back into the thing. Chlorophyll is the pigment that facilitates what I just explained in my ghetto version. All right. It absorbs the light for photosynthesis. Okay. Then you have stomatas. Those are the small openings. So they're the pores on the leaves that allow for gas exchange. Y'all always hear me talking about gas exchange, ionic exchange, etc. These exchanges, y'all hear me talking about replicating that ditch environment with that surface agitation, letting the plants take advantage of atmospheric CO2, facilitating the gas exchange. That's what I mean. Now, if you look at this one here, it's another picture of a nano. I got some Barrera species in there. But you can see photosynthesis literally happening in this picture. If you look at them bubbles on the plants, that is purling. And what's happening is, go ahead, Jorge.
Yeah. No, I was going to ask. I know that chlorophyll is the green substance in the plants. So why do you have plants that turn red?
Oh boy, man, you're a good friend to have. So when plants turn red, it's because they have a pigment in them. It's called anthocyanin. Okay, and anthocyanin is sunblock for the plant. And what that does is it allows the plant to continue with photosynthesis, but not be damaged on a structural level from the UV rays. You dig?
So is the variegation on plants then? Is that what was
that is caused by a virus. So
I was going to say that is not necessarily that was unintentional that it was done, right? Because it's in the
variegated plants, not all of them, but the variegated plants, what it is it's a virus.
Oh, that's what it was. Albino. It's
a mutation.
Okay.
Some of them are mutations. Some of them are mutations that are catalyzed by a virus, like that damn man, the philodendron ghost. I know you're not a plant head like that, but some of them ones, yeah, that's why. And then people will get them, and they'll start reverting back to green. But that's clones, all that shit like that. We'll get into that. Okay. That's an advanced one. But yes, on the surface. But that's what's going on with the anthocyanin is sunblock for the plant.
Okay.
So, but that's what you see right there, y'all, is the carbon dioxide being released through the stomata of the plant in those little bubbles, and that is what you see in your purling. Okay, and it's not CO2, it's oxygen. I'm sorry, but that's your purling. Because I was getting ahead of myself because I wanted to say that plants actually do a reverse of the photosynthetic process at night, and that requires oxygen. You understand?
So is that why you're always saying that you don't need to run CO2 in your aquariums? All you need to do is black out the tank for a period And I think Roy, the last
Yeah.
time he was on the show, he alluded.
Yeah,
that
me
the
and
best-
Roy alluded to the siesta period. Yeah.
Yes.
See, so like these are good ass questions, Jorge. You on one today, boy? Yeah, that's exactly what I was alluding to. But again, in advance, I ain't gonna go too deep. So moving on, because I want the homies to come up. Let's look at adaptations, right? Specialized features that plants have. And this is a good photo that I took of some Sagittaria growing in an undisclosed location in Florida. I ain't gonna say well, but yeah, invasive as fuck. But
Oh, you're talking about the small picture on the
the
left-hand
background
corner.
is the background is Sagittaria. The small picture in the corner is bulrush, and that
wait. The white petal.
that's
green.
Sagittaria, my friend.
So when it's summers, then
I know you're
it's more-
confused.
yeah, it looks more like a blade of grass. And when
Nah,
it-
peep game. No, you're talking about a completely different plant. We about to get into some shit today. Chill out.
Okay.
So dwarf sag and Sagittarius subulata, it's a completely different plant.
Oh,
It's not
okay,
native
okay.
to America either, or to
Okay.
North. It's South America and completely different plant. And when it grows immersed, its immersed form, it don't look like that. You're right.
Okay. Okay.
But this is
That's-
just
that's where
another
my confusion
broader
was.
family. And this is what I'm getting into with plants. And it alludes to what we was talking about last night with the cherry picking and how, dude, social media is homogenizing the fuck out the hobby. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so much stuff that's not known. This would be dope for somebody to pull off in a setting in the house. Like ABC, Biotope, boy, he could do this shit. I know he could like set up this whole little creek setup right here and run it, and it'd be so fly. The homie Coro could do it. Like it's so many people that could do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so going into it, the specialized plant features, adaptations, right? Traits that help plants survive in their environment. Plain and simple. And then I delineate a couple of terrestrial ones that I think is cool. So you got your xerophytes, cactuses. So basically plants adapted to arid conditions. So such as cacti with water storing stems. So not just cactuses. So you hear the hippies talking about xeriscaping now, especially in California and shit.
Well,
That's where that
Arizona.
word came from. Xerophytes. It's basically drought tolerant plants.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the hey, look at me, I want to sound smart way to say drought tolerant. In redneck or normal motherfucker, xerophyte is drought tolerant. Done.
Okay.
All right. Epiptites, same thing. In redneck or normal vernacular, is a plant that grows on other plants and or structures and obtains nutrients from the air and rain. So in normal
Orchid,
air plant, yep, or orchid, moss,
Spanish moss, or what?
yeah,
Moss?
exactly, lichens, all that, epiptites. Okay, these are adaptations now because these epiphytic traits passed on to amphibious plants and aquatic plants as well. Bucophalandra, Java fern, Anubias. Most of your rhizome plants that have those filamentaceous roots, those are vascular and they serve a purpose. All they do is anchor and collect. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they mat up, they anchor, right? And then as the detritus collects, it's able to be uptaken by the plant. And of course, they're feeding from the water column as well.
Okay.
So that segues us right into some adaptations of aquatic plants, which is dope. So the reduced cuticle to enhance gas exchange. You see that again, that word. Flexible stems to withstand water movement. Specialized root systems for anchorage in water. I just got through saying that. And unique reproductive strategies. All right. Water-borne pollination.
So your stem plants inside an aquarium, they're actually reproducing in there and putting out pollen.
Now we're gonna get into that,
Okay.
but see, you ask a good ass questions, bro. We're gonna get into that. So they have unique reproductive strategies, right? Waterborne pollination, and of course, the ability to photosynthesize underwater. A reason they can photosynthesize underwater is because of that reduced cuticle. Okay, so when y'all watch my videos and y'all hear me talking about flipping plants, so on and so forth, etc. Peace out, Ralphie.
Yeah, he
You know
said
what I'm saying?
you're putting him to bed, so that's why he's taking off.
It's all yeah. You learn today, bro. This shit ain't for everybody. I like this. I'm not even. I could give this many because I'm 10 for 10, bro. I ain't never wrong. All the shit that I talk on the internet is substantiated.
I'm just giving RJ a hard time. That's all I'm doing.
You gonna learn. So anyway, so like when y'all talk like flipping plants, when I say they ain't flipped yet and like that, that's what I'm talking about. You have to let this plant on a morphological level change so it can do what it do. You got to let it have time to get its snorkel, if you will, right? And people don't talk about this shit because they can't. Let's just cut the bullshit. How you gonna talk about something you can't? I can talk about it because I'm a fucking nerd. Like, this shit is fun to me. I'm happy as hell right now. So that's what I mean when I say flipping plants. That cuticle has to reduce. There's other processes that are a little more depth, but I ain't gonna go into. But that's the nutshell. The cuticle, the gas exchange. That's what I'm talking about when y'all hear me saying flipping plants. They gotta flip. What you go ahead? I see your shit spinning. Ask away.
No. I was just saying hi to Sen Ginger because I haven't seen her.
Oh, what up? What up, Jen? What up, Mandy? So let me get us right. Here we go. So that's what I'm talking about when I say letting them flip. So moving on into aquatic plants, let's go head on. And I wasn't gonna leave y'all hanging and just talk about plants without focusing on aquatic plants for real. All right. And I got some examples too. So emergent plants, that's what you asked a while ago. Yeah. So emergent plants are aquatic plants rooted underwater, but have portions that extend above water surface, i.e. your cattails, your bulrushes, your lotuses, okay? Their adaptations are like, bro, I'm just geeking right now, bro. I feel like I'm back in active duty, giving training and shit. Like we finna go kick some ass. So their adaptations are their long stems, stiff stems, mind your manners, y'all, that they go above the water and they got hair like your lower brain fart. What the hell is red root floater? Somebody put it in there. I had a brain fart. Your red rooted floater, Philanthus fluitans, it's got the hairs. Pistia has hairs. Salvia has hairs. Okay. Then you get into duckweed, your limnias. Some of them do have hairs. It's microscopic, but they're gonna get your waxy ones, your waxier leaves that float. Then you look into like your nymphaeas, your Apogynagetinae family, your pondweeds, all those things like that. Those are going to be your waxy ones as well. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What's up, Ralph?
What's up? I was about to go to bed, and then I heard Steve, talk about aquatic plants pollinating, and I stopped myself because I got curious, and I was just thinking to myself, aquatic plants pollinating, that's something we never heard of.
How about the game?
You know what?
I'm nerd the fuck out there. This shit fun too.
I was like, I need to just hop on and nerd out for a bit because that got me curious.
Yeah,
aquatic plants pollinating.
So that's what I'm talking about, like the difference between amphibious, aquatic, so on and so forth. And it's just, bro, like this is my art. So like if I was like a conventional artist, right? And I was not well versed in the color palette or even just the different color wheels apart from primary, I'd be a shitty artist, or not necessarily. It would be subjective, but it would be two-dimensional. is what I'm saying. So when I'm breaking it down, and like last night when we was on y'all show, by the way, thank you for having us up.
Our pleasure.
What I was getting at to Corey, to Jess, was this: why not? Okay, we are the masters of what we do.
Right.
If it's silica, so figure out what you have to do so there's no algae. Watch your lights, watch your nutrients. And then George said it straight up, cut the bullshit. Just turn the damn lights off. Because you can have nutrients in there. If there's no light for the algae to express itself, you're not going to have algae. But that's just one of them examples of trying to cut this mentality on the internet of, you can't do that. Like this bullshit. Yeah, you can.
Right.
Learn. So, like, you know, it's my ethos, Ralphie. What I tell you? Suck it up. Stop being a bitch and come on. Like, that's it, bro. But yeah, they pollinate underwater. So that's those adaptations for emergent plants. I'm finna go to this slide, Ralphie, to answer your question. I got you. Be patient. Be patient. Okay, so here we go. I was just talking about this. Submerged plants, all right? These are your aquatic plants that grow entirely underwater, all right?
Right.
Some of your examples are the Nacris, Vallisnera, Hornwort, and Blixia. And my damn computer died when I had put it in there, and I just now noticed that. It didn't save. But Blixia also. So Blixia oberti, Blixia japonica. There's another one, I forgot it. But Blixia it replicates its whole life cycle completely underwater. There's a handful of them that can be considered plants. And we're going to get into that in a deep dive, more advanced one. When I was talking about angiosperms, gymnosperms, etc. You know, bryozoans, like shit that has gametes, spores, ferns, stuff like that. So their adaptations are the thin and flexible leaves, and they minimize the resistance in water, and they absorb oxygen through their leaves and through their stems. So when I was talking about that siesta period, that reverse, and all it is molecule splitting, bruh. So if there's no sun, bro, it's so fucking cool, bro. It's just a solar heater, man. The sun boils the water in the leaves, and it splits the damn molecules, and there's other organelles and stuff inside the leaf, like the stoma and everything like that. Then, like the chloroplast carry the chlorophyll, and it just breaks shit down. It's cool as shit. All it's doing is boiling the water. It's like a damn whiskey still, bruh. The plant making liquor, but instead of getting some goddamn shine, it stores the carbon in the ground. It turns into energy and oxygen. And that's what we benefit from, in a nutshell, bro. It's not rocket science.
Wow. I never thought of it that way. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. It's not rocket science, bro. I told you I love this shit. But like the internet ain't for it. So we doing these live streams so people can come back and watch it at their leisure and really, like, you know what I'm saying?
But that's the thing, right? If the plants are underwater and then they pollinate underwater, right? Then where does the pollen scatter to? Or is it like concentrated in one area? Or
so that's what I'm talking about, right? The pollen is adapted to disperse in water. You dig? Hear me out. Think about this. Nature's smart. Nature ain't nothing but a computer program, right? It's AI. It just consistently gets smart as fuck and just tries to replicate and become as efficient and effective as possible, right? Yes. Track with me.
Yeah.
Right.
You're in college now and you gotta pay attention. Remember, if you apply the Darwinian theory, which just for sake of conversation, please, you apply the Darwinian theory, and we talk about the Big Bang and cells splitting and life evolving and advancing, right?
Right.
Look at salt water, okay? Look at a coral reef, okay? think about what a coral is a symbiotic autotroph. It's an autotroph. It makes its own food, bro. It's not a heterotroph. They
Ooh.
are creatures that have algae inside them that do photosynthesis. When the sun goes down, it makes its own food, and it also eats as well because you have to feed coral. So think about when corals spawn and they missed out. It's just it's a release. You dig? It's
Right.
the same concept for aquatic plants. Keeping in mind what I said previously, nature is smart. Efficiency. Why the fuck would it reinvent the wheel? Let's just variations on the same applicable and familiar theme. You tracking?
Tracking.
All right. So that's that in a nutshell. So let me put that back up there. Hey, Jorge, make it like how you had it with all of us up here.
Okay.
That way I can have that up there for visual for the people. You know what I'm saying? And then I still got you, Ralph. Like, I love this shit. Like, me and my little brother do this all the time, too. He'd be asking me fish tank stuff. So let's go into the floating plants, right?
Okay.
Right.
These are the ones that float on the surface, and the examples are the ones I put were the water lilies, your duckweed, and then your water hyacinth, right? Now, I put them examples for a reason so I could help y'all visualize. Their adaptations are air-filled structures that provide buoyancy, roots that hang beneath water for nutrient absorption. Now, obviously, all the plants don't all have the same adaptations, okay? Water hyacinth, for example, has one of the air sacs for buoyancy. They all have roots to absorb nutrients, but they don't necessarily have to have the air-filled structures. Some of them inside the leaves are like bladders, if you will, like duckweed. The way duckweed works, limna is a sneaky bastard, right? So what limna does is it has the ability to regulate its freaking buoyancy. I've been doing plants for a long time. I've been paying attention for a long time. What limna will do is, depending on what time of year, it don't go away. It's all them people be putting all that goddamn poison in the water, killing the environment and shit because they want to run their boats and go bass fishing and do all that shit, which that's cool, man. I do all that too, but I don't be out there fucking up nature. So limna regulates its buoyancy, so they be like, hell yeah, we killed it. No, you didn't. It regulates its buoyancy. It sinks. It goes down to the bottom. It lives on the bottom and roots. It survives off the bottom in the mold. And then when it's time again, i.e. change of season, more sun, it regulates its buoyancy again, and it floats back up to the top. That's how it does. Like, you ain't killing it. But yeah, it regulates its buoyancy. It's really cool.
Right.
If you want to learn about it for real, I'll send you a research paper with an abstract and everything on it. Like, I don't like to give that away because real research ain't free, you know. But like, I got a bunch of generic stuff that I'll let you, like articles I write, and it breaks it down. And I'll let you. I'll Google Drive you those. So that's your floating plants. Here, let me go to the next slide. All right. So some takeaways from the plant terminology is this. Understanding the terminology is essential for understanding how they grow. Roots, stems, leaves, and flowers, fruit, they're the main structures. Photosynthesis is what turns sunlight into chemical energy. Plants have different adaptations for different environments. Excuse me, my eyes itching. And what I just said, so like, these are aspects that are set in stone, man. All right.
Is the photosynthesis process for aquatic plants different from land plants because of the fact that water has
Yes,
an
because our
oxygen
water
component?
reflects light. You smart bastard. Yes, it is. Here, let me go back to that slide. Yes, it is. Right here, if you can see the clicker, it says it right there, the ability to photosynthesize underwater. So because water refracts light in a
Right.
different way, the plants have to flip. Once again, reducing their cuticle, changing the vascular structure of the leaf, the physical shape of the leaf. The whole damn thing. It butterflies, bro.
Oh,
Caterpillar to a butterfly. Yeah.
wow.
If
Okay.
you go look on Warrior Plant Tanks in my mission statement, I explain all that. That's why I sell plants the way I do. That's why my store is off, but the knowledge center is still up, and plants is growing. Send me a DM, see what I got in stock. But that's why there's a lot of. It's not fair, man. All right, and I said that. I don't want nobody associating their failure with Warrior Plant Tank. So I take a lot of that shit out of there for you. I'm gonna send you a plant that's flipped already, unless you want some cuttings of a bunch plant. Like you want some rotala so you can root it and grow it, emergent, or do what you want. I'll send it to you. Fine. Or you want a sword that is field grown, it ain't been flipped yet. Fine. That's why people don't like growing swords, because they're getting them out of the swamp. They're not getting them flipped already. And that's why they're
Right.
so expensive. Because let me tell you something. It takes time, y'all. One of the things I didn't put in this slide was patience, because we're not talking about how to grow yet. I'm going to put that in the next one we do. It's time. Patience, man. It's patience.
You think you could put together something that, and I know most of the people here are not necessarily beginners, but for people that are trying to get into plants to see what the immersed version of that plant's going to look like versus once it's been flipped. So that
Absolutely. I would love to do that. God damn it, George, you're jumping the gun. I kind of already started doing that anyway.
Well, okay. Well, that's good.
You know, because I got so many good mentors in the game, man. Old heads.
Wait, you talk about flipping plants. So as in you can flip aquatic plants to become non-aquatic and vice versa? Or
Yeah.
How does that work?
Good shit, Ralphie. Hold on. Hold that thought, boy. Hold that thought. I got it.
Well,
so for y'all, look, I have what I like to call they're chimeras, man. They shapeshifters. It's a house plant, but it's a fish tank plant, but it's a house plant, but it's a fish tank plant. P gang.
What?
Yeah. What happens, Ralphie, is that to be able to commercially grow a lot of these plants, they grow them out of the water, and almost a lot of your aquarium plants are grown that way. But when you put them in your aquarium, they do go through a transition because they have to shed the leaves that were grown when it was exposed to the air. When they go in the water, they have to revert to a different type of structure to be able to to manage to absorb whatever nutrients are in the water column.
I did it for you, Ralph. I did it for you.
So that's what Steve's talking about flipping when he's talking about flipping plants. It's converting over.
Okay.
You finna see it in real life. So I knew we were doing this show. So I put this motherfucker in his Sunday. And I got that touch. It's already ready already. So look, you see, this is a little prop of, it's got so many names. It's Lisomania. It's Creeping Charlie, Creeping Jenny.
Okay.
Water plant. They sell it as a stem plant for fish tanks. All right. This is a house plant. You can buy this at Home Depot right goddamn now, a whole pot of it for like $20. And then you can go on my website and buy a bunch of it for me for like, I think I got it on there for $5 for a bunch, but I ain't stingy. Nah. Here, Ralph, is flipping. See that little leaf right there on the booty? Yeah.
Right.
Wait. Let me turn it around. I'm trying to be delicate with her now. Trina, good. See that little leaf right there on the booty?
Right at the end, yeah.
That is a flipped leaf, my boy. See them roots right there? Them little white
Wow.
bumps? Those are flipped roots. This is in water. It's changing on a physical level so it can keep doing what it's doing.
So you plant that root in water and it grows as per normal.
Yeah, I just got this part only. This little like 1 inch portion. Just the part that's wet. That's the only part that's in water. And that is flipping. Cuticle is reducing.
Wow.
Everything is changing. And my dumb ass, I'm going to sit up here and talk about it. I didn't put the cuticle and all that because it's advanced. On the advanced terminal, I'm going to put that. But shit, like, damn, Steve, you talk about the cuticle. What's the cuticle? So I'll put that on the next slide and we'll go into it. Just so y'all keep asking me a question. Let me put this back.
For RJ's benefit, what happens is that is known as water propagating. Taking a trimming of a plant and putting it in water and allowing it to grow out roots. That's what that's known as.
So basically flipping is
water
propagating.
Water propagation can be for house plants or well, obviously the ones in the aquarium, they're already in water. But I think you can do the reverse, and Steve can explain it because I really don't know the process. But you can take a lot of the aquatic plants and convert them over to terrestrial plants. But I'll let Steve, because I know I had asked him about that, and he said that it was something that could be done. But I don't have the knowledge. I don't possess that knowledge to be able to do that.
Okay. Wow, I thought it was
like
just two separate things.
The Lysimachia is a perfect example. I'm finna answer a lot of questions that both of you had asked. I'm finna answer both of y'all's shit with one thing. You good as shit, George P. Game. Remember how you was talking about the store names and all that shit?
Yeah.
So Lysimachia is one of them ones. Depending on who's selling it and where you get it from, it's gonna be Creeping Jenny, Creeping Charlie, Mint Charlie, like that. Now, them name Creeping Jenny, Mint Charlie, and Creeping Charlie, them three names are interchanged with, that I know, 2 plants for shit show. I think it's 3. And they interchange. It's just like pothos, right? You can have a Scindapsus, completely different plant. It's not Epipremnum. Damn it. That's Epipremnum. That's Epipremnum aurum. Tongue of vine. That's the real name for this shit. Tongue of vine. Pothos. Fucking stupid. It's tongue of vine. So this is Epipremnum. But people say pothos because it's a blanket term. Just like a Staffordshire Terrier is not a fucking pit bull. An Amstaff is not a pit bull.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So, like a Staffordshire Terrier is not a pit bull, etc. So the blanket names and the Lysimachia is a perfect example of that. So
I just never thought I'd see the day where you could have like land plants become aquatic plants and then vice versa by what's the term Jorge used? Water
propagation.
Propagating. There we go. Propagating.
Well,
yes. I never thought of
it's.
I've seen that.
It goes back to what I said on the last slide on the takeaway. But let me answer Coro Work his question. It's a good one. So if you buy converted plants and they were just running on CO2, nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. It is, to answer your question, yes, it is still the aquatic type leaf. The only thing that changes is water. Either it's in there or it's not. Atmospheric CO2 and fucking soda stream bubbles they're different.
Right.
Yeah. Atmospheric CO2 is not straight CO2. See what I'm saying?
Atmospheric CO2 is not straight CO2. Why? What do you mean by that?
Okay. If you're breathing air right now, right?
Right.
So if atmospheric CO2 was equivalent to the shit we are pumping when we gas, I call it gassing. So when I'm gassing a tank, I'm running straight CO2 from the gas man. He'll fill my bottle up for $20, and I'm gassing my tank with my bubble counter and everything.
Right.
That would be the equivalent of you putting a mask on your breathing machine and putting the CO2 in there. It's not atmospheric. It's different.
Okay.
Since the plant
Because
is specialized, it's a magnet.
Because the
bro.
atmosphere has nitrogen as well.
Exactly, it has other components.
So it's not straight.
The only molecule for the process is CO2. So the plant, nature, I told you, nature's smart. The plant ain't gonna waste no time trying to metabolize other molecules that they don't need. It just takes CO2 only from the atmosphere. And that's why I'm always saying taking advantage of that atmospheric CO2.
Oh, okay.
Make sense now?
Makes sense, yeah.
But yeah, to answer your question,
That was Mandy responding to.
yeah. And see, let me go and put the slide up. How do you?
But
do
you
that?
talk about
3.
you talk about flipping plants, right? Is there a certain criteria that plants need to meet in order to flip?
Say again.
Do you need to? Is there like a criteria that plants need to meet in order to be eligible to be flipped from aquatic
Yes.
to non-aquatic or vice
Good
versa?
question. Yes, there is. So you ain't flipping no cactus,
Right.
right? You ain't flipping no lily, like that. So in the episode before this, me and Tommy was talking about that. I was talking about how understanding where the plants grow, what aquatic means. And then like if you had a river and you cut a cross section and then it went down like this, like here's the river, and then the 25-year, 15-year, the different flood stages, right? Them plants already know what time it is. They already know. So look at this last one on this takeaway. These aspects are set in stone, which is how horticulture is possible. Okay? The plant ain't nothing but the plant. It's autopilot. It does what it does. Once you observe and educate and understand, then it becomes your medium. You can manipulate it thusly and give shit cool names like pink fucking flamingo. Watts, you and that bullshit. Told you it's a hoax. It's a cultivar, bruh. But anyway, this is why. It's because these are natural aspects that are set in stone. Once that means it's a variable. Now you can do your equation and you can manipulate it thusly to get whatever variables you want. And then you start getting into genetics and unlocking phenotypes and cross-pollination. That's horticulture, my boy. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Well, you think plants is so simple, and then you go into all this.
I mean, you just can't be normal and get some wind dead eye bronze or some wind dead eye red. Even the green look good, Grow some bouquet, just the foundational OG plants, But I digress. Anyway, so that's it, bro. It's set in stone. That's how horticulture even happens. See what I'm saying?
Okay.
So flippable plants are ones that are going to grow in a 5, 10, 15, 25, 100-year flood zone. Figure it out and you can flip it.
Ooh, okay.
So anything, I'm going to put it to you like this. Anything outside of riparian, you ain't flipping. Like you ain't flipping no oak tree. But an oak tree grows in a 25, 50-year flood zone. There's species of oak that
What,
grow.
what is that? What's that flood zone you're talking about?
So how water moves, so if nature is a computer, how it's programmed things to do what they're supposed to do. So like what
Well,
level is
it's.
the game you got to fight
I
what
think
boss?
what RJ is asking is flood zones are considered those zones that are near a waterway
A waterway
that periodically will grow or expand
be
during the rain
inundated
season.
over a period of time.
During the rain season, and everything that's in the area gets flooded out, and it could be for a couple of
Months,
days or a
years.
couple of months.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So that's what a flood zone is. That's what Steve's referring to as a
Right.
flood zone.
Right.
and so like if I say riparian, that is, let me show you. When you think of riparian, right? I just passed this mud. The water ain't moving fast. It's shallow. A lot of nutrients. The plants can grow in there and get in there good. They doing their thing. They just basically dangling their feet in the water, but they still plants because they anchored in terra firma. See what I'm saying? Then look at this little bulrush in the little corner. The little picture at the bottom. You see the sedge grasses. Now,
Right.
if it floods, that can be inundated for a period of time, and it'll be fine.
So is it going to convert into aquatic, or it's going to keep its regular structure?
No, it'll flip,
Okay.
and it's minimal. It's
Okay.
extremely minimal. And then with these ones, they do kind of, I call it the snorkel effect. As long as they got some snorkel, so as long as something is exposed to air, they Gucci. And they'll just keep growing on up out of that water. Says I call that the snorkel. They just reach. So that's for that one. What else you got, G? Let me close this.
I'm just like stunned because you think about plants as being simple.
That's
You know,
basic
kind of
bitch
like
shit right there, bro. I ain't even go
of
ham.
like of throw substrate on into your tank, throw aquarium soil, and put your plants in, and that's it. And then you realize, like this is the first time I'm hearing about
It's deeper
plants.
than that. And
Yeah, this is
I'm not even gonna lie. It had like hit a point to where it was like I didn't want to invest the time into doing the videos and going into stuff like that because ain't nobody on YouTube you talk about plants like this.
right.
I mean, you got them cats that be trying to talk and be smart and say a bunch of big words and shit and kill you by PowerPoint. They there, but not like this. So, like really teaching, like lifting from ignorance versus indoctrination. So,
Mandy's got a question when you get a minute.
Shoot.
Oh, it's on there. It says so wait, is duckweed not officially a plant then? Because no
Yeah, you
substrate-
misunderstood something, G. Mandy, duckweed is absolutely a plant. But when I was saying it's still a plant because it's in terra firma, I'm meaning plant in the terms of what we think of a plant being, something growing in dirt.
And then Jay left a couple of he left a question before he left that he said if he could answer because he's going to come back and watch the stream when he gets a chance. But this is what Jay was asking. He's got a question. He's got a friend who's got Rotala Walichi from him.
He says the tips are burning off.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tips are melting.
Well, and he says, but he also has a bit. What do you think it is? Is it too much lighter?
That's nutrients, bro. You see what I'm saying? Because Waliki's one of them ones, right? Let me use a visual reference because it's the best way to help people. I'm gonna go back to Is that a good one? This one. Okay. So look in the front right there. See that red plant?
I see a lot of red plants.
Okay. Do you see the red plant with the?
It looks like
you see the
feathers?
myriophyllum? You see the red? That's red myrio.
Okay, the one that looks like little feathers.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was running the red myrio to flex because everybody always running Waliki because that's what YouTube says is the red plant. But I was trying to be like, nah, bitch, it's a whole lot of red fluffy plants. They just hard as hell to keep. So that's my myrio that I want to flex on. But look at the structure of it, okay? Looking at a plant will tell you what it needs, how it needs to be planted, how you need to take care of it for it, okay? And it goes back to this slide right here where it talks about the leaves, right? So the blades on these plants right here on your submerged plants. So their adaptation is thin and flexible leaves to minimize resistance. And I put the slides up because I wrote these motherfuckers and I feel like I'm preaching. So I just put this up so I ain't finna repeat myself. But I can explain while y'all read that. So if you look at the plant, you understand how to take care of it, right?
Yes.
It's got those little leaves to minimize its resistance in water, which means that it's growing in flow. It also helps it with oxygen absorption because it's got those leaves and it's like little brushes in the water. That water's flowing, it's highly oxygenated. So it's just like filter media. You want as much surface area as possible. So that's why you get the more pores. Same concept, more surface area equals more absorption.
So based on what you're saying, Steve, that plant, the one that has a lot of that feather looking like stuff, that if I assume correctly what you just said by looking at the plant, then that plant would not like a lot of flow in the water because it would be blowing everywhere, right? It would want more of a still area.
You got it backwards.
Okay.
It needs flow.
Oh, okay.
That's what it's built for. Nature is not stupid. Why would you build a plant and then we put them in tanks with no flow. We put a shitload of nutrients in there. We know we just spent $25 for a stem cutting this big because some YouTuber's selling it, and we pour all them damn nutrients and shit in there. We put them $3,000 lights on there with no flow, and it just sits in there and it literally rots. See what I'm saying? It's not getting what it needs. Okay. So it's in some flow. It is built to have nothing. Does that make sense?
Okay.
No, I don't think. Based on the sound that RJ made, I don't think it makes sense.
The water's moving. It's hauling ass. It's washing those nutrients to the ocean. All right. So this plant's like, man, this is some bullshit. On top of getting the shit beat out of me. Nah. You know what I'm saying? We eating at the food bank. This some bullshit. So it develops its structure the way that it needs to say, now fuck that, I'm finna beef up then. And it gets the feathers, right? So now it's like, now. So I'm gonna catch more nutrients out the water column this way. I'm gonna get more oxygen this way. And because the water moving, the little light that can be refracted, I'm catching it all. And because I'm getting the shit beat out of me with sun, let me go ahead and throw that sunblock on and turn red. So I'm going to start producing more anthocyanin.
So the red pigments are because of excessive sunlight?
Yeah, sunblock.
Okay. So wait, backtrack. So the red pigments act like sunblock because of the excessive sunlight. Okay.
It's an anthocyanin, it's a flavonoid, it's a pigment. It's in food too. Beets, anything red. It's natural. It's one of the red ones. There's other ones too.
So every time you see a red pigment in a plant, it means that they're kind of using the sunblock to refract excessive sunlight.
No. It means that it is a plant that produces high amounts of anthocyan, which is typical and indicative of the fact that it grows in full sun environments.
So based on
Okay.
what you're saying, Steve, if that plant was not to get an excessive amount of light, it would turn green again.
Yeah, it's gonna green down.
Okay.
It's gonna green down.
Because, or is it
It's still
because
gonna have a red hue to it, but it's gonna green down. Here, I'm finna help you. I got one. So this is lipstick.
Here, let me make you.
I don't remember. I don't
Look
fucking
up,
remember. It's either lipstick or Siam Queen. I don't remember. But you see the red on the edges?
Yeah.
That's horticulture. All right. So
Okay.
this plant was specifically bred to produce the red borders for decorative purposes only. It serves no function whatsoever on the plant. It is basically exploiting a mutation. That's literally it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what answers your question. It doesn't necessarily mean if I see a plant and it's got some red in it, that means it grows in the blazing sun. Because this is a aglaonema, and if I put this thing in the full sun, I'll cook it.
Because it won't turn red.
No, because the type of plant that this is, it too grows in a riparian area, and it can take full sun, but it has to be diffused. It can't be like all day. So like 8 o'clock in the morning, it get full sun for a couple hours, cool. But it's gonna be in shade the majority of the time.
So these are plants that are basically growing amongst tall trees that they do have.
No, they're growing under the trees in the canopy.
That's what I'm saying. They grow amongst
Canopy.
between under.
Yeah. Getting that
So
dappled
they're
light.
protected by the canopy. They're
Yes.
protected by the canopy of the tree so that they don't get excessive sunlight. They don't burn out, basically.
But yeah, that's basically yeah, that's exactly nailed it. Mandy nailed it. And it's just understanding. And I guess if anything, it just come from like it shouldn't be no confusion. And I know that's a terrible proposition to say, but with the nature of what we are doing and the amount of empirical data that's out there, a lot of the confusion is unnecessary. That's a better way to say it. Because this is regular shit. Like, it's set in stone, bruh. It's set in stone. It ain't, hey, me, insert name here, YouTuber, with my little fucking lo-fi music in the background and smoking shit. Mist in a tank and shit. And hey, I know stuff about plants. Blow me. No, it ain't that deep, bruh. But that's why people scared of plants. And I got kind of disillusioned with it to where it was like, I'm not finna put this shit on the internet because I get tired of people gatekeeping, and then these bitches go see my video, get inspired, then fuck around, go Google some shit, and then they back to the, hey, I know shit about plants, blow me again. So me and George, we doing this. The homie white boy Tommy, he doing it too. We finna flood the fucking internet with empirical data about plants in a digestible way. That's not, hey, look at me. Look at all my bazillions of subs. I know stuff, blow me. Oh, and go to, www.cocksucker.com to buy some stuff. There's only a handful of people in Plant City vending plants, y'all. So stop. That's like for real. I grow my shit. I got a wholesaler too though. But like a lot of stuff, I grow it because I'm horticulturing, it's mine. Like I've done stuff to it,
Yeah.
Like it's mine. So yeah, you can change it. It's like making a stew, Ralphie. So if your mom tells you how to make a curry and you do it. You know what I'm saying? You make the curry, but you like, let me throw some of this in there, right? And it come
Right.
out good. It's fire. And you go get that curry to your mama, you fix her a bowl like my mama made your curry, and she get to eating, and she like, what you put in the curry? And you like, no, I can't tell you. You like it? Like with beta, like you read with anticipate, you like it? Like, no, yeah, it's good. It's good. I like it. Like, yeah, you ain't gonna tell her. Nah, she might like keep pestering you, or like you come back one day to the house you visiting, and they're like, go in there and make the curry you made. You did it good. Go make the curry. And you in there making it, but like you looking over your shoulder and shit, because you like this, like, and that's your
Right.
stew. It's yours. And that's what I mean when I say these motherfuckers mine. I didn't sprinkle some shit. It is
Right.
like what I rotella, it's rotella rotundifolia, but it's mine. I done did some stuff to it. You see what I'm saying? And if you keep those cuttings and you keep growing those cuttings, they're clones, they're gonna grow just like that. That's another thing. All these $60 plants, that rare shit Jay would talk about, that's what that is. That's horticulture, man. Like, bro, I could be one of them cocksuckers selling Stardust for $60 for a dime piece cutting. I can make that shit. I know how to do this shit. But why? Bro, when I was a little black motherfucker following my granny around in the garden and she was passing down the knowledge from the ancestors to me, because, I'm carrying the buckets and doing the wheelbarrow because she couldn't. I'm young. I'm strong. That's what it was for. It was a gift, bro. That's it. I'm born into this shit. Like, it's blood. Like, everybody in my family, like, they're earth touchers, bro. That's what they do all the way back to, like, great-great-great-grandpas, man. And I ain't talking about no slavery shit. I mean, like, that's what that's what they do. They grow. All of them.
Right.
Geniuses at it, yeah. You just got to
Wow.
like, a dog whisperer. I guess I'm a plant whisperer. You feel me?
Right.
You got to understand them bitches.
Yeah, Coral Works is asking if that he wants to experiment with UVB light instead of UVA. What's your opinion on that?
I've been doing that shit for a long time. And I'm going to just go, look, bro, if you really want to fly tank, if you really want to just stop, if you're going to spend money, stop. Ain't nothing in the industry, bro. And these motherfucking YouTubers, I ain't going to say who, they need to stop going to China and rebranding that shit, talking all this shit like it's all fucking cutting edge. You know the fuck, you went to China and rebrand that shit, boy. But anyway, I digress. Coro, if you want to grow, take your ass to the weed store. I don't know if you live in a free state or a regulated state, but go to the hydroponic store, go to the weed store. And any entry level horticulture light will run circles, you hear me, around all this shit they got on the market. Any of them. Like an entry level one. So like you go in, I think maybe Tractor Supply, some places like that, they'll have the little display of garden in your home, right? And it's a little thing, and they got the little shit you can buy, the little kit and the light. It look badass. You can grow tomatoes, basil, all that shit. And it's a badass light, and you got to hang it up. Those are horticultural grade lights. That's what you need. That's why I use Viva Grow, because they make weed lights. And I said this shit years ago on the live stream. It's still up, but yeah, get the shit to grow weed with.
And Mandy's got a request for you.
And then too, Mandy, I was about to say that too. If you don't want to spend no money, the next best thing, get the reptile lights. And because I herp too, I'm a big reptile nerd. So like my lifestyle, so in I can just mix shit with shit because everything that I have is for everything that I do. And once you learn that, you can incorporate.
And that's what I was trying to allude to, but we were the very first episode is that I'm seeing these, and it makes sense because they kind of tie into each other. I've seen the reptile industry get into the houseplants, And that's because if you're doing,
It's not getting in. It's been that way
yeah,
since the 60s. All this shit took off in the 60s and the 70s, y'all. And that's why I'm so lucky. Like, my granny raised me after my mom got murdered. Like, she was one of them plant. So she my granny was a master gardener. Okay. We always had a garden. We always had a food plot. We always had a garden, a big one too. All kind of shit. Because my granny was one of them old people, like how me and George is, because of as the people who raised us was we like that. We cheat. She wasn't finna go to no damn store and buy no shit that come out the ground. Like, the concept of it was asinine to her. It had nothing to do with spending the money. It had nothing to do with the capitalism, okay? It was the fact that we live on Earth. Why the fuck would I pay money to live on Earth, bruh? We from here. So she refused, you hear me, to buy anything that was not what we call consumables. So shit you got to go to town for. I'm about to tell you some pioneer shit. So, like, shit you got to go to town for. Sugar, flour, butter. Basically, the stuff you don't produce yourself, consumable goods that you have to have. Rice, shit like that. Everything else, we produce that. Cucumbers, tomatoes, vegetables, verduras. Tú sabes, verduras. Green shit. We grew that.
Right.
Beans, everything. Grew it.
Self-sustenance.
Yeah. So we had that, but her thing was growing for fun. Because, like I said, they earth touches. Growing is just something you do. It's a practical thing. You know, like, you ain't got no garden this year. What the fuck wrong with you? Well, I've been sick. Some shit like that. That would be the only reason. So, practicality being, you're not going to grow a plant and invest time, energy, water, feed, etc. You can't eat the motherfucker. Why would you grow a plant? Look, that's stupid, right? Same thing, like, why would you have a dog that's not like a guard dog? He don't work. Like, I'm gonna feed this son bitch, he ain't gonna bite nobody. No, that's a bullet catcher. You know, well, everything has a purpose. Like, I got raised sustainably. Okay.
So everything's functional, basically.
Right. It has to have a purpose. So I told you, she hit in the 60s and the 70s, bro, with herping, horticulture on a like for decorating. All right. So she belonged to these plant clubs.
Ooh.
Okay. And so, dude, there's nothing new under the sun. That's why I'm so crotchety on the internet, because there's nothing new. You know those subscriptions you can get where they send you shit for whatever, bro? Pick something. Shaving, fucking fishing. But every month they send you a box with different things in it.
Oh.
Yeah. Bro, that was back in the day, bro. My granny used to do that. And they send you plants. Different ones. And like exotics, bro. So everything now that you got all these divas on the internet, like, and they got a plant. I gotta make fun of roast beef. So this is one of my babies, little bitch. Woo! So this is a Chinese taro, but it's alocasia, but it's called Tiny Dancer. I like that shit because I like the name of the song. Remind me of that fucking song, Tiny Dancer. You know? So you be having them little plant divas, and they be on Instagram half naked and shit, trying to get clicks. And they be like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Or they'll be like, look at my Alba, or look at my variegated this, that, with that bullshit. So all this shit, this shit ain't new, nigga. They've been having this shit since the 60s. But these motherfuckers staying in the house long enough, not sucking dick. They doing something different, and it's new to them. But like the sluts they are, they gotta have a thirst trap and be like, oh my God, oh my God. But now, bruh, Granny was doing this shit in the 60s, bruh. So that's how I learned about when I was little in the 80s. I'm gonna tell you what was hot. African violets was hot. African violets was the shit. And my granny was like ahead of her time, bro. I'm telling you, she was a master gardener. No bullshit. She had that shit set up back there with the fluorescent lights and shit, the shade cloth. She was using leca and ponds, before it got sensationalized. You know where that shit came from? Bonsai. Shit been here, bruh.
Ooh.
Yeah, ain't nothing new. Fuck all these people. So she had the like just nice, bro. And we live in East Texas, okay? We
Okay.
have, yes, in the woodlands, in the woodland areas, not the woodlands specifically, but here in Southeast Texas, where I'm from, Houston, we have a native violet. Okay? Now,
Ooh.
I'm finna get on some shit. This good, bro.
What's the name of the violet?
Huh?
What's the name of the violet?
Violet?
The native violet. Yeah,
It's a violet.
the native. Oh, there's no specific name to it?
Yeah. Sometimes they'll say dogtooth violet, but that's a different plant. So
Okay.
I'll pull it up for you here. I'll pull it up for you while I'm talking shit. So, Pete Gang. So these wild violets, they're not invasive, nothing. They are native. Southeast Texas, a rarity. All right. Granny
Right.
tried. God rest her soul. That was like her fucking Mr. Holland's opus to get them some bitches to grow in a pot. A lot of native plants. Like we have one that is called an Indian paintbrush. It's a beautiful flower. It's a wildflower. And I figured that some bitch out. My granny was one of them type of people that'll pull over in the median in the middle of 249 some goddamn well and get them fucking plants, bro. She'd dig them shits up and try to grow them. And it took her forever. What she didn't the part she didn't figure out about the Indian paintbrush is it's a wildflower. It has to grow in disturbed soil, poor soil, full sun. It has to have a dormancy period. It must come from seed. So you can't dig them up and then plant them, get them to take, and then they're not going to grow again. You got to start them from seed. They got to freeze. And
Stop
I figured
them
that shit
from
out.
seed.
Yeah. But she was on it, bruh. So she had those African violets, bro. And we had a back porch, kind of like a Florida sunroom. It's screened in, but all enclosed, completely enclosed. And she had the fluorescent lights, everything, you know. She already know. Obligatory. You don't kill Indian paintbrushes, and you will go to jail if you kill bluebonnets. And the black-eyed Susans, you don't cut them. It's frowned upon. We love our nature down here, man. We really do. It's just the education. Huh?
Is it protected? Is it like a protected species kind of thing?
No, it's more cultural. It's more a cultural thing. The bluebonnets is a state flower. It's like the only native lupine species. One of the only native lupine species, and it grows across the whole fucking state, man. It's so awesome. So, bro, you got me talking about plants, man. So, anyway, those violets, it's just one of the minis. Like, it's been going since the 60s. Like, the lizard people incorporating plants. It's just people incorporating it all together because it all kind of takes the same gear to run, if that makes sense. Like, you were running African violets in a fish tank if you had them. They didn't have no plastic fucking Tupperware shoe boxes back then, but no.
Oh wow! So back then you would have only brought
polytopins back then. The polytopins didn't come out until like the late 90s, huh? Maybe the 2000s. They didn't have them for a minute. See what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's just understanding and remembering that those principles are set in stone, and that's why horticulture is possible. But it's something as simple as understanding the basic terminology. You did? And that's your foundation. Once you have that, you can expound. But you have to at least, I mean, how are you gonna know to cut the internode if you don't know what the fuck the internode is?
Yeah.
Right.
You know, messed up your plan. And God forbid you get hustle and go buy some damn galaxy or some stardust and you trying to act like you gonna propagate this shit because you only had $60. You done spent all your little lunch money on that plant from this YouTuber. And you gonna act like you finna propagate some shit. And you cut the one node that's on that little raggedy fucker, and you just essentially flush $60 down the drain. So that's what I'm saying. Y'all go buy that shit if y'all want to. It's cool. I'm just here to give y'all the meat and potatoes so y'all can be successful and really start growing plants. Let me show you something, Ralph. I'm gonna flex real quick. Make sure ain't no titties or nothing on him. I'm just joking, bro. I don't do that. I don't look at that kind of stuff. Like for real, it's got bad spirits attached to it.
We need once you show them that, we probably want to wrap it up.
Yeah, that's what I was finna do.
We need to get RJ to bed and everybody else. This is
exactly, and I know
weekend.
your old ass. Let me do this. Because I saw this and I was like, man.
There's a 6-pack of beers in the refrigerator and a piece of steak waiting for me.
Oh yeah?
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah? How did steak turn out?
Jealous, bro.
How did it turn out?
Good. I did 2 of them yesterday. Figured we were gonna kill one of them when we had dinner, and
yeah,
I've been waiting to wake up from my sleep to go have at the other one.
How do you like your steak done?
The only way, rare.
Which goddamn right, moving. Shit, man. Look, I'm gonna say some dumb shit.
If you like it well done, just chew up cardboard. That's all I gotta say.
I like it medium rare. Medium rare.
You're mediumly okay.
There. Oh, can you see that?
It's a black screen.
It's black screen.
There it is.
There we go.
Okay, so look at this tank. Okay, so when me and George are talking about like the Dutch and everything. So this is
Mandy's tank.
Say again?
Why'd you get a picture of Mandy's tank?
Of who?
Mandy, Zen Ginger.
Does she have one?
Well, that's her tank, isn't it?
Huh. Yeah, she's seen it. Mandy was around for this tank. Mandy knows this tank. And look, Dick, look in that corner down there in the bottom. Can you see that? Look at that. That's zebra stone. So this is a Japanese hybrid Dutch, right?
I see granite.
And look what I did. So I layered textures. This is going to answer your question, RJ. I layered textures. All right. In the center, you got Hygro Penitafida. Behind it, you have Cryptocorinne Wendei Red. Okay? So I layered those textures. So you basically got the same plant that grows the same way, but with the leaf textures being different, it gives it a nice look. See what I'm saying? That's a rule. Right. That's a Dutch rule. So a Dutch tank is the structure is the different groupings of plants themselves. So for this to be considered a hybrid Dutch tank and work, as you can see, all the plants are still grown together. However, I separated with different textures, which is the Dutch rule, but I use hardscape. I incorporated hardscape. In this instance, the zebra stone and the manzanita wood. So if you,
that's what it is.
Yeah, that's manzanita. So
no,
in the front,
go ahead. I thought it was just a bare spot until you mentioned it. Then
it's manzanita.
Realized, yeah.
So like in the front, you got the carpet. In the back, there is there was some micro sword in there, but It didn't take. So there's a valve group. And then all that shit in the back is your different stem groups. And it's Rotala. Goddamn, I don't remember. Everything. Rotala. Jesus, all kinds of stuff. I don't remember. There's Kabamba in there. Okay. But there's that one. right? And then I'm gonna show you one more because that's really what I'm looking for.
I mean, side note, I always wonder what a zebra stone was since you mentioned it, I think a few lives ago. And now I know.
Yeah,
So
nobody
that's-
uses it.
Whatever, man.
Okay.
You're just dumb. Pissing me off.
What a night.
You know, it's all good though. I don't even care. Let's
Yeah,
see
that's
here.
why you're sucking on your lower lip because you don't care. Oh, Matt.
Yeah. Here it is. Talking about just like growing plants, like growing them. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
I be seeing a lot of planted tanks, and I wasn't trying to be like uppity and shit when I said that yesterday on y'all show last night. That social media like homogenize the hobby. And basically what I meant is everybody's shit look the same because people so scared to do something different because everybody want to get a booty pat. You know what I'm saying? From the goddamn peanut gallery that ain't nobody trying to do nothing. So here go a low budget, low tech tank. And I hate to use these innocuous ass internet terminologies, but for the sake of what we doing, let me pull this up quickly and then we're gonna wrap this one up. Shit. Here we go. It'll pop up. So I should have mirrored it. Well, no, this is how it was in the house. So this is a freaking 55. I had it for years. That same gravel bed. Active duty tank. Why? Because set it and forget it. I go on deployment. Not have to worry about my ex-wife killing shit. Come home. It's no worse for worry. Like, it could be furniture. You can leave the light on forever. Like, never turn the sun bitch off. And with the fish low and the way them plants growing, you ain't got no algae. Never did. Or you can run it on a cycle and it'd be fine too.
So those
No
are all
CO2.
crypts? Are those
No.
mostly crypts in there?
No, so in this corner here, this is Crips. This bed of Crips. Oh God. I planted this specific bed of Crips in 2005.
Ooh.
When you're looking at it
Understood.
now, this picture was taken in 2016, 17. Okay. This green plant in the middle is just Echinodorus blairi, Amazon sore, or some more Echinodorus blairi over there. This is Wendtii bronze, by the way, that crypt. In the back, there's some Hygrophila deformis over there. There's some Ceratophyllum in the back. And you can't see it very well in this picture, but if you look at the top, that floppy leaf, that is a Madagascar lace plant. I also had some Eliocharis montividensis in the back there too. So low tech, bro, loaded with plants. Not necessarily a Dutch, but a Steve Dutch because I didn't put no stems. You feel me? Like y'all see my like I don't have. That's what a planted tank supposed to goddamn look like. Is what I'm saying. Put some plants in it, and it's like keeping them alive. Okay, here's your booty pat, but grow them like that. Grow them is what I'm saying. And like people ain't growing plants no more. That's why I was saying social media homogenized. That's no first, no nothing. I think I was running the two big ones, Flourish Excel and that other one. The two main CChems when I remember to. And that was it, bruh. Dead ass. Some bullshit analog fluorescent tube lights, and I think I had a raggedy ass $20 fluorescent fish tank strip that I got off like Alibaba or some shit. Low tech. Only thing I had on there for a filter was a little bullshit ass Marine Land canister, the little small one. That was it. And that was my low budget, set it and forget it tank. Low tech. But understanding this, what we doing here, I'm trying to get people growing plants, bro. Ain't nobody growing plants. Even the people that claim to be selling plants on YouTube, none of them motherfuckers is growing them though. Don't nobody got no gorilla dick ass plants no more. All that shit look cold to me. Like the hell wrong? Hey, you see that buddy on the internet? From that New York dude, that motherfucker, he be like, man, stop disrespecting me with your old low budget Lucy Lou ass. I was like, stop that. You know, he be roasting people on the street. I was like, don't come over here disrespecting me. Dude, what is that dude on YouTube now? You know who I'm talking about. Hold on. Let me turn that off. Hold on, let me turn this off. You know who I'm talking about, bro. He be like, don't be disrespecting me. He be on the YouTube shorts. He be out there roasting people.
I don't know who. I
I
have no idea who
you're
you're talking about. Yeah, remember
I'm
you
gonna
and
pull
I
him
have
up,
very
man.
different tastes when it comes to.
Here we go. I got it right here. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Just turn down the volume and show it.
You're like a pack of now ladies, you heard?
You see it?
Hey,
This dude.
yeah. Don't ever
homie.
disrespect me hugging your man from the back like that. Hey, yo. Don't ever disrespect me looking like you from the We Lost Army, you heard?
Don't ever disrespect me looking like the Gordon's fisherman, you heard?
Yeah, no, I don't think I've ever heard.
Yeah,
or
I've
seen
never
this guy.
seen this one. Yeah.
Before they kick us off
You
the.
never heard of that dude?
No, never.
Yeah. No, but that dude. Sometimes that's how I feel when I see them tanks. Man, they disrespecting me with that Charlie Brown Christmas tree looking ass bullshit. Like, seriously? Like, that's all. But anyway, if you ain't got nothing, I ain't got nothing.
Yeah, we're good.
You good, Ralph?
Are we going to revisit this? Is there still more to this topic for next week, or do we want to jump on something different?
It's up to the people, man. It's up to y'all. It's up to you. Like, I do plants, you know? So it's like I'm not going to unknow this stuff.
Well, if there's anything in specifically that you guys would like us to, well, not you guys. I mean, you guys would like Steve to address, not us, because I'm
No,
along for the ride. I'm along for the ride with you, along with you guys to learn. But yeah, if there's something else that you feel we haven't really covered in these last two streams, please let us know. Send us a little comment or something on there, and we'll try to put something together. Because I know when it comes to plants, there's just so much information out there. It's just trying to figure out exactly.
Ooh, look at Jen talking shit. So I'm doing the same thing, Mandy. So like it's 94, man. That's about what your water gonna average out at. It's gonna be 90, sub 90 sometimes. And I got some crips outside. I got a lot of stuff outside, kicking ass. In 90-degree water, bro.
All right, guys. Then we'll go ahead and wrap it up then, and we'll see you guys in a couple of weeks. Ralph, thanks for coming up here and helping us
My mind got
drive
blown
this by
today, so.
asking questions and stuff like that. So, and periodically when we do have streams where we feel that there could be some engagement from the chat, we'll drop down the link and feel free to jump up and ask your question, because sometimes it's just harder to type it out than it is just to straight up ask what you're trying to learn.
That's
So
true.
not only that, it also kind of gets you involved and participate in the stream too. So with that said, thank you. You guys have a happy 4th of July weekend. Take care.
Thanks for having me.
If you drink, be smart about it. Don't drive.
Don't be like Jorge, get all drunk.
And don't be lighting fireworks and setting off your whole bunch of them together, because then that.
And if you shoot your gun, point down. Shoot in the ground. Don't shoot
your foot though.
Yeah. Well, you know where you shoot your foot, make sure you film it and post it. And don't be disrespecting me.
All right, guys. Well, thank you, and have a great
Check that
weekend.
homie out. All right.
Bye.
Peace.